Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Tuesday to everybody, and hopefully you are on your way to a outdoor function of some sort this evening. Maybe headed to the Louisiana Tech football game. Skies are clearing out across the area, and the rain has pretty much wrapped up, so it should be a beautiful evening. Could be a little on the cool side depending on your location. Checking the visible satellite as we start to lose daylight on this Tuesday, and you can see some fairly vigorous thunderstorms got going today across portions of Mississippi and even into central Louisiana. Most of this was kind of after or as the storms were exiting our coverage area. Check of the radar, and the radar products, as always, made possible by Brown's Roofing, shows showers and a few occasional thunderstorms. Really, most of the thunderstorm activity was festering with daytime heat because a lot of areas did see the low 80s this afternoon across the southern parishes and counties. Check of rain totals over the last 12 hours, and again, some areas seeing more than others, just shy of a quarter of an inch of rain at ULM from the Louisiana Mesonet powered by the University of Louisiana Monroe. Other spots picking up a few hundredths of an inch, some areas picking up a couple of tenths of an inch of rainfall, and then there were some locally heavier downpours of half to close to an inch of rainfall in some locations. Temperatures did rebound behind the front across southern Arkansas this afternoon. A lot of areas were back near 80 degrees because they saw sunshine and a lot of dry air punch in. So, of course, once we got the skies to clear out, temperatures rebounded pretty quickly. Meanwhile, in Natchez, they were in the 80s early this afternoon. They've fallen into the upper end of the 60s with the clouds and the rain that have settled in many of those areas. Most of us kind of sandwiched somewhere in between in the 70s. Dew points, again, progressively drier as the northerly winds build in behind this front, so those dew points falling into the 30s and 40s across southern Arkansas and still holding in the low to mid-60s where the rain is continuing to gradually exit and the clouds thinning out across our southern parishes and counties across the Mississippi Valley. As I mentioned, winds are out of the north, generally in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. They were a little bit more breezy at times this afternoon. That did lead to an increased fire weather risk across the area. Look at Futurecast, made possible by Bayou Power Sports I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe, shows a lot of us in the low 50s tonight. I think we'll actually probably see the upper 40s in many locations, and it may all come down to what the winds do. If the winds die down, become light or even calm, a lot of areas will see temperatures fall a little bit faster. But again, the overall kind of model consensus is that we will probably see the upper 40s in some, if not most, locations to start the day tomorrow. Daytime highs rebound back into the upper end of the 70s, and then as we head toward Thursday, still pretty cool, but starting to see a little bit of a warming trend, and then we turn our attention toward the weekend storm system as it'll bring some warmer air but also more humid air in place, setting us up for the rain chances that we'll deal with on Saturday and into Sunday. And while we're on that note, here's a look at the water vapor imagery. And you can see the thunderstorms bubbling up, just really kind of forced into the atmosphere with daytime heating and the advancing front, just scouring out whatever moisture was available. As we go through the next few days, though, a new upper-level storm system and a new kind of cutoff upper low will meander across the Four Corners region. By the end of this week, we're back seeing kind of subtropical southwesterly winds, and that's going to start transporting moisture into the area ahead of this next storm system as it sets up across the region by Saturday afternoon. By Saturday afternoon, we start seeing rain moving back in. Maybe a few thunderstorms, and some of that rain could be heavy at times because we're starting to transport some pretty deep amounts of moisture into the region. Along with that, the rain continues to linger into Sunday because upper lows like this, cutoff lows like this, tend to move rather slowly. By Sunday afternoon, it starts to kind of get absorbed back into the upper level pattern, kicks off to the east, and then we eventually bring another storm system in probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week, and that brings its own rain chances. Maybe a strong thunderstorm threat by then, but it really just depends on how much the atmosphere can recover after what looks to be a fairly rainy weekend. The severe weather threat for Saturday and Sunday right now looks isolated at best. In fact, I would think Saturday probably has the better chance of strong thunderstorms than Sunday, and even then, at this point, it looks to be a pretty isolated threat. That could still change. We're still trying to kind of get the finer tuned details to this forecast. It's still pretty early in that process. Nonetheless, the rainfall outlook over the next 7 days starts to get pretty aggressive across the region, with a lot of 2 to 3 inch forecast rain totals, with all of that rain really focused on Saturday and Sunday. Again, painting with a broad brush in the general sense, obviously some heavier downpours will lead to some locally heavy rainfall in some locations, but it's way too early to really get into specifics on the timing, especially if you have outdoor plans. I know a lot of folks have to make those decisions early in the week, and right now it looks to be very soggy, and trying to pin down when we're going to see the heaviest rain in any one particular area, that's pretty tough to do at this point. So again, kind of painting with a broad brush in terms of the rainfall forecast. Quick check of the tropical satellite. If you missed it earlier today, Tropical Storm Melissa formed out over the central Caribbean. Current forecast cone is for this storm to just kind of meander to the west and then eventually the north, and not moving much over the next 5 days, perhaps becoming a Category 1 hurricane as it approaches the eastern Jamaican coastline, but right now just kind of a storm that's going to hang out over the central Caribbean. If you have vacation plans, that's probably the most significant impact that the U.S. will see. I do not really envision this being a problem for us anytime soon. All right, so look at forecast lows for tonight. Again, slated to see upper 40s, maybe some low 50s here or there. Winds should start to die down overnight as well. Daytime highs tomorrow land back into the mid to upper 70s. The 80-degree mark is a possibility as well. May, good evening. But again, overall, quite pleasant. Low humidity values makes for a pleasant afternoon. Look at the 7-day forecast. Again, the heavy rain potential for Saturday is the primary focus, but rain will probably linger in some degree through the day on Sunday. Monday looks to generally be somewhat dry at this point, but then we bring that next storm system in probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and that'll bring some storm potential, maybe a severe weather threat. And again, as I mentioned, in terms of organized severe storms on Saturday, it's a possibility, but right now it's not the main headline and the main focus. That could still change, and if it looks like the trend is toward more organized, strong to severe storm potential, I'll obviously let you know about it. That's a look at the forecast for the day. Of course, you can always download the Digital Weather Desk app for Apple users, Android users. That app is coming soon. Again, no update today, but I would expect it hopefully by the end of the week. And of course, until then, you can get your interactive radar and the latest forecast tied to what you see right here at digitalweatherdesk.com. Fish and game forecast slated to come out a little bit later this evening, and then I'll join you first thing tomorrow morning with a look at where temperatures are to start the day. You may need a jacket before you head out the door. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by CenturyNext Bank, and if I don't say it enough, I'm